Chrome is shining just like an icicle right around town on my low rider bicycle. Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. This cost $96 delivered from China.
China, 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 China.
It's a kit that you put on a cruiser, so you need a donor bike. You can get a $100 Walmart bike to put it on if you don't have one.
All right, we're gonna build a bicycle into a motorcycle. So donor bike right here, Swin Strand Cruiser, somebody found in the garbage. And we've got all of these beautiful parts. Gas tank.
Gas tank.
Engine, that's where the magic happens. Got some electronic ignition parts there. Gas cap, gas filter, spark plug, petcock. There's even a springs and stuff. See, that's funny. Chain tensioner, clutch with a dead man clutcher, so you can actually push that down to hold the clutch open. There you go. So there you go. So that'll hold your clutch open, and then when you release it, it holds it closed. That way, if you want to pedal it, you can turn it off and hit the clutch. Motorcycle chain, carburetor. All of this is going to hook this big sprocket onto the non-drive side of the wheel over there. Got some grips, throttle and cable, kill switch, engage, muffler, water, chain guard, and let's get right into the build. All right, take the back wheel off, loosen up the nut, and remove the brake hangy thing. So there's a rubber piece on the inside of the spokes. We're gonna back it with some of these metal plates, go behind it, bolts come through, another rubber plate, and then the sprocket offset towards the spokes. You can see it's concave. Goes on like that, bolts down, and it doesn't grab onto the interior or crocodile alligator of the hub, so it can shift around. So when you're putting it on, you got to make sure you get it exactly centered, or you'll be hopping up and down the road and your chain will come off. So that's probably the trickiest part of this operation, is getting it torqued evenly so it's flat and so that it's not going around like this. All right, if you have any kids, make them do this part because it is a pain in the ass. All right, let's do the spin check. So you got to spin check it to make sure up and down is good, and then you got to go from the side, and you got to make sure it's not wobbling. Let's see, who's wobbling?
It is skipping a little bit. That's
pretty good. That's really good. Y'all did an excellent job there. Now the challenge you might run into is clearance for your brake lever. So you either have to go to caliper brakes, or what we did was put this thing into that vise over there and pound it and bend it so that it would clear all these nuts. And then it works, and then when you put on the brakes, Charlie, so it spins and he puts on the brake. So we've got the engine in the frame, we've got the wheel on, and they did a really good job of making it straight, so that's perfect. Engine didn't fit with the standard fitment. I think that's designed to fit one of those, a regular, you know, straight angle bike. So this is a bendy cruiser bike, so it came with this kit with this U-washer, and I wrapped a bicycle tube around it and then duct taped around the bicycle tube. I've got a little bicycle tube on the back to help the frame a little bit from getting scratched up and vibrating loose, and that looks pretty darn good. All right, what do you reckon, boys?
You reckon she goes? If she goes, it floats.
Sometimes she goes.
She floats the boat. Whatever floats your goat. That's what I say.
It's the way she goes, boys. She goes round. So that's tight next to the exhaust pipe. We were able to bend it a little bit, and looking good. The carburetor, no problems there. You want to have the air intakes on the bottom side in case you're riding in the rain. Looking like a motorbike. We had to drill a hole into the handlebar to keep it from rotating. There's a peg on the top of the throttle assembly that fits in there, and then you just put it on there like you would on a motorcycle. All right, we're well into the evening hours here. Clutch cable install is just like a motorcycle. It's pretty simple. Put it on, then put your money grip on. You could either muscle it on, or you could use a little rubbing alcohol to get it on there. He chose to muscle it on. Pro tip: getting the chain in here. The factory manual says take these 3 bolts out and then remove the cover and put the chain on and then replace the cover. The cover has tension on it to hold the clutch spring in, and the bolts feel like they're made out of old Chinese pots and pans melted down, and it just felt like we were going to rip the threads out of the heads and then be stuck. So rather than do that, we held the clutch in and just kind of fed the chain over the top, and it came out the bottom, and we were able to install the chain without having to get into the clutch box. Chain is on, chain guide is in place. Muffler's in place. We had to be real careful to get it to clear the pedals. Carburetor is in place. Clutch goes in there. Alright, here's a look at the electrics. So there's a kill switch here on the handlebar. Oh, sorry we couldn't do this for you in daylight, but we're too excited to wait until tomorrow. So coming out of the engine is this electrical wires. Black goes to black and blue goes to blue on your coil, which go to your spark plug, which spark the mixture. And then your kill switch, you're going to run black to black and red to blue. And that goes up to the handlebar. And then that's pretty much it. You're ready to rock with that. We just got to set up the carb.
China!
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 So there you go. The tank has 4 bolts on the bottom. This is a look at our electrical system. Hook up. Pretty clean. Well, not really, but we'll clean it up. Here we go. Little zip tie cable management. Ooh, blue cables. Blue zip ties. Nice. The old Schwinn.
Should I do this one up to here?
No.
These two up to here?
Loop it.
Yeah.
What if you use
You
loop
probably
it
want to
like
use
this?
black on the handlebars though, rather than blue.
Loop it to keep
So once we
slack.
got all these cables and wires done, and we put a front brake on it that we had lying around, so
Oh, you're gonna loop it like this?
double safety. So zip them onto the handlebars, and then down here, leave
This
them
one
with
has
slack.
to have more.
Front to back with a little bit of slack. All right, boys, let's see what she'll do out on the open road. Get the film crew in place. Get her rolling. Pop the clutch. There she blows. It works.
Very slow. It's so slow.
Oh, rev her up there. Let's hear it. Oh, sounded like CFC.
Alright guys, we'll give you a few more runs on it. And you know the drill, like, comment, subscribe, thanks for watching.
All right, like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to CFC BMX. Here's what we've learned after a day of riding. So you can see, got a little oil here, So I don't know if the oil's coming out of the exhaust pipe and we just need to tighten these up, or if it's coming out of the head. They do say frequently you should check the tension of the head bolts, do them crisscross. The muffler will get full of gas. Like if the needle valve, we had the needle valve stick open and the gas ran down here and gets into the end of the muffler and fills it up. And if that happens, it won't start because it can't breathe. So you have to remove that little nut and take the end cap of the muffler off and drain the gas out. Other than that, it runs pretty good. So I think what you want to do is run it out of gas before you park it. You can see we turned it off when we parked it and the gas line has gone down to here. So I don't know if that means that the gas has run down into the muffler again. So, educational project. You've always got to adjust something. And the kids will get some knowledge on how machines work out of this. Alright, here's what the book says. Maintenance routine. Clutch, put some grease on the clutch. Carburetor every 5 to 20 hours, clean the air filter. It's just a sponge, so you just wash the sponge. Spark plug every 20 hours, you want to clean it and check it. Exhaust system, check it for excessive oil. It's real easy to pop the end off. Like I said, sometimes it'll get full of gas, so you got to pull that out and clean it. It's going to get full of oily crap. The chain, check the tension. Our chain's gotten loose during the break-in period here. You've got this rolling chain tensioner that goes up and down, or you can move it forward and back if up and down doesn't do it. Torque the head bolts to 12 foot-pounds every 5 hours of operation. That's so we showed you the oil leaks, so I think that's probably accurate. Remove the cover plate on the right side gears and put a little grease on the gear train, and that's it. And then here's the oil ratio. 16 to 1 during break-in, and then 20 to 1 91 octane after you've broken it in. Break-in period is 500 kilometers.